Hey, welcome back everyone to the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. We call it Weather for Weather Geeks. It's Tuesday evening, the 23rd day of April 2019. It was kind of an eventful couple of hours right around midday today. We had some pretty garden variety thunderstorms for the most part, but some of these got a little bit feisty. They came in a little bit sooner than I thought they would last evening. Everything kind of outran the models here, and these turned into some hail-producing storms in some places. Now, most of our hail was of the kind of pea size, but up to maybe pennies at most quarters in a couple of isolated spots earlier on today with the hail sizes. Most of it was the kind of inconsequential stuff, the stuff that's just conversational, good for pictures. Thanks to everyone who sent in the pictures today of what you were seeing in terms of hail and the cool clouds we had out there earlier on today. Head over to my Instagram, EricWFMJ on Instagram. Also check out some of the comments on my Facebook posts from this morning and midday, Twitter as well, for some of the pictures that were sent in of the hail and also the clouds. We had a lot of asperatus, undulatus clouds out there today. Kind of real wavy looking, very photogenic clouds. Got a lot of cool pictures of the clouds sent into us earlier on today. So yeah, the hail was for the most part pretty inconsequential. You know, thankfully around here, anything more than golf ball size hail is very, very rare. Golf ball size is about as big as it ever gets around here, and even that does not occur very often at all. So we had the hail earlier on today, and just a reminder of how hail forms. It's all about frozen water droplets being swept up by strong updrafts, rising air. As the air continues to rise, additional layers of ice will form on those water droplets as you get up into the very cold cloud tops. And then eventually these stones that form become too heavy for the updrafts to sustain them. And so gravity does its thing, and the hail drops down to the ground. Now, we had two main swaths of hail for the most part earlier today. One was in Trumbull County, this one up here, and this is going to loop through a few times. The other one was down in Mahoning County, kind of traveling very close to 224. Had some reports of hail around the Boardman area, and a lot of our reports were up here from Niles, south side of Warren, heading over towards Vienna, and heading over into the Brookfield area, Sharon, Wheatland, places like that. We had a lot of hail reports from there. These storms, again, arrived a little bit sooner than I thought they would last night, generally late morning, and then they were pretty much out of here by about 1:32. The last places to see the storms today around 2 o'clock or so. That was down towards Calcutta, Glenmore, East Liverpool, and Wellsville. And ever since then, yeah, it's been pretty quiet. We've been storm-free, and we'll stay that way overnight tonight. Most of the action has shifted well off to our east, getting some heavy storms in parts of central and eastern PA. We still have some residual clouds overhead this evening, and we'll average partly cloudy for the night tonight. In the near term, one of our bigger weather stories it'll be a cooler night tonight. Now, it's not going to be freezing cold. We have no threat of a frost and freeze. But after a very pleasant evening, albeit a little bit breezy, this cooler air that's up around Lansing and Detroit heads our way, and I think a lot of us will slip down into the lower 40s by the end of the night tonight. So the pollen was washed away a little bit by some rain today, but it'll be right back tomorrow with a dry day, a generally sunny day, and yeah, things will recover very quickly in the pollen department with everything greening up and blooming very, very quickly here in mid to late April this year. So we're looking for a good deal of sunshine for the midday and afternoon tomorrow. Some high, thin, cirrus clouds will try to mix in for the late afternoon and evening. But overall, it's a nice day. A little bit on the cool side by a couple of degrees. We'll sneak into the lower 60s. All right, our forecast has trended a little bit wetter for Thursday, although our in-house model here is suppressing things a little too far to the south, I think, which is a bias of this model, especially once you get out into the kind of 36 to 48 hour time frame. Tends to suppress moisture a little too far to the south. I think some of this is going to sneak up, and showers will become likely before Thursday is through. So we've trended our forecast wetter for Thursday. We've trended our forecast a little bit drier for Friday. Still have the chance for a couple of showers Friday, especially in the morning, but some optimism that drier air will eventually win the battle by the afternoon, and we'll squeeze out a decent Friday afternoon. So some trends there, also some trends for the weekend forecast. Looks a little cooler now on Saturday, despite some sun. We may struggle to get out of the mid-50s, and that'll be our coolest day of the next 10 compared to average. You'll notice there's no big, tall bars here on either side of the average line here. So we're not expecting any big deviations from the averages over the next 10 days. There'll be some coolish days. There'll be some milder days. It's really once we get beyond this kind of first 10 days that there's some optimism that we'll get into a milder pattern, a more consistently mild pattern. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook showing the southeastern ridge kind of fighting back the cooler weather, but it's going to take some time. I think it'll take until at least day 9, day 10 of the forecast, which of course takes us now into the first couple of days of May. So, I don't have a lot of warmth in my 7-day forecast. The high water mark is probably Thursday with a high of 66. The weekend will be below average by a few degrees, but a little bit of patience and we'll get there eventually. And I think we have a warmer than average May on the way. Not as warm as last year, which was the warmest on record, but warm nonetheless. All right, that'll do it for tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. I'll have an updated forecast tonight on 21 News at 11. You can get that forecast anytime on the Storm Tracker 21 app. Have a great Tuesday night.